Stepping stone to a higher ground. I believe in that people should read the Bible and study the Bible, but as a part of stepping stone to a higher ground, I promote it and I promote reading it. But I remember when, in my everyday life before I really started going to church and reading in the Bible, is that if I would be walking down the street in public and people started talking about religion, I would avoid them and go the other way. If I saw somebody coming with a Bible or any religious symbols, I would go the other way because I felt that they were going to judge me and condemn me. So, and I know that strategically, for me to get into a person or to get to a point where I can maybe help a person and share with a person and get them to that level, to a higher ground, you have to use a part of the marketing strategy that I was talking about earlier. You've got to build rapport with people, because when I understand about what I understood about the marketing strategy and apply this in my everyday life about building rapport. Rapport is people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. So you could be like, I'm walking down the street with this Bible. I could have a 3-piece suit on. People can see that, but they don't care how much I know until they know how much I care. So when I talk to a person and I engage with a person, I got to show them. Now, I'm not going to say that I care, because Jesus, another good example, his disciples says, why do you call me good when there's only one that's good? And that is God, because you got to believe that God is the only one that's good. He created everything in this world that you desire and love. The people you love, the food you love, the fruit you love, the automobiles, the technology, he created it. And they say that you're a star, and you really are a star, because we're carbon based. That what happens is in a star and in a star creation and a fusion process, when it's fusing, it takes billions of years for a star to mature, and then once a star starts to basically create iron, and iron cannot be fused, then it goes nova and it explodes. So that iron that's in the world came from a star. Iron doesn't come from Earth. It came from a star when God used the matter in space to create the planet. That iron came from a star, and that is carbon based. And in that carbon base, that's why when they say you're a star, literally, you are a star. So, and the reason why I bring that up is because I treat everybody like they are a star. When you're talking to a human being, they are a star. You should treat that person like they're a star. Everybody's like a rock star. They really are, because in your womb, when God created you, God created you. And people will say, I hear people say that my mother and father said I was an accident or a mistake. You were not an accident or a mistake, because I heard somebody tell me the story once that in the Bible, God told Sarah that she would have a baby. She didn't believe it. Now, someone said that God closed up all the wombs in Israel until she had a baby, and that was proof. But even proof in how powerful God is that even when you look at the prophet that God used in the whale, Jonah. Jonah basically was in the belly of a whale. Now, no, not before or after has that ever been recorded of a whale swallowing a person. God gets him to where he wants to be in the Nineveh. And once they get to Nineveh, God has his whale regurgitate him up on the shore. So that shows just how strong God is in control of every womb. If God did not want you to be here, the womb would have not have been open, and it would have been closed. So that's why everybody's a star, and you have to treat them like a star. And that's why I build rapport with people. I have to try to build rapport with people, because they're not going to care how much I know until they know how much I care. But But when I go back to when Jesus said, "Why do you call me good when there's only one that's good?" That's God. So what I'm saying is, God is the only person can really care like no other, and He cares about everybody. And God knows everybody when they're innocent and they were sweet as a baby, and that's why God basically, as an example about Nineveh, they say people were headhunters, and God was going to destroy them, but God didn't destroy them because He knew them, and He knew in their heart. God knows their heart. He knows that the reason why they were there doing what they did because they were deceived by the devil. Just like in this world today, we're being deceived by the devil. God loves us. God will use people that He knows and He wants to use to share information like this, but sometimes people aren't going to hear the information because they see you coming. They think you're going to judge them. You're going to turn them away from the life they know they don't want to give up. But I guarantee you that when God created us, basically as pure as it is, our desire was, his desire and our desire was for a man to love his wife, a wife to love her husband, and to have children, for us not to abuse her. But when you have that, there's nothing greater. There's no money, material, nothing greater than that. But we're running around in circles, chasing our tails, looking for stuff that's not going to make us happy. That's the only thing that's going to make us happy, is man loving his wife, wife loving her husband and their family, and being good to their family. So when I try to build rapport with people, so you won't see me probably coming with a Bible. You won't see me coming with a lot of things. You'll just see me coming, talking to a person like I'm talking now, not trying to impress a person, just be myself, and sharing what I know at the level I know about God, so a person can see that God really does care. A lot of people are angry with God when they really shouldn't be angry with God, because they don't understand, for lack of knowledge we perish, and what's really going on. It's like if you look at a crystal ball, God can see into, and when we talk about realms, there's a realm where God was when we talked about Abraham, and the great Gulf Fix, where there's heaven, there's hell, and there's earth. The devil can see in the earth and he can plot against us, but God is in heaven and he can see in the realm where the devil's plotting against us, and he can see us. So God can see every realm, but the devil can't see into heaven. He can only see into this realm. So how does the devil know when God really loves somebody? A lot of things happen and they go bad. But when the devil plots against us, and his plot doesn't come to pass, he knows the only person that could prevent that is God. So God, because he says, for lack of knowledge we perish and we reap what we sow. That's why a lot of times things happen, and a lot of times, God is not at the root of that, and we don't understand why. But a lot of times we have to accept some things, and they may be painful. But the thing is for me to promote that, yes, God is not at hurting people. He's not a God that hurts people. He's a God that loves people. But we're so far off track with all the abuse that we're doing to one another. We should want to try to get back on track to reverse a lot of bad things and stay that way, so God can bless us as whole in the world. So basically, that's why if you don't see me with a Bible, it's because how I'm trying to reach people. I want to run people away. I want to, and the Bible is not going to run people away, and it shouldn't run people away. But a lot of times, there's a lot of people that don't know God's word. They may not be in a church, but if they see you coming, they're going to want to run. They're not going to want to hear it. They're going to think that you're going to preach to them, and and a lot of times is what they pick up is that when they see somebody with a Bible preaching to them, that they sense in their spirit that you are holier than them and holier than thou. And then that just right there, they don't want to hear anymore. They want, in their mind, they just want to get away from you. They don't feel that you really care about them, that you're really trying to help them and you love them, and that see them as a key in making the world a better place and making their life a better place. Because the world should be really, really the best place. It should be paradise, and I believe that we can make it paradise. And that starts with each and every one of us promoting good and healthy morals. And once we can get there, then everybody it'll just be like a snowball avalanche effect. People will start to believe that, trust in God. They won't be angry with God because they know what's really going on of good and evil, that if we have a fork in the road, if we go down the wrong path, that yes, that's what's going to come back to us. If we go down the right path, yes, it's not going to be an easy road, because evil's going to be always trying to knock us off that path. So that's why when I come to people, and you may not see me with a Bible, please forgive me, but my intentions are sincere, because I want to reach out to people and build rapport with people. But yes, I go to church, and I have a Bible, and I promote reading the Bible. But like I said, sometimes some people, it may take a person to help them to get them to that point, to a higher ground. They may need to feel that, oh, I can relate to this person. Okay, wow, this guy shared something with me. I can't believe it. So once you basically strategically maneuver that person to a position where they find out they go to church, and it's going to be great. But you got to remember, I hear a lot of people say this too about going to church. I don't want to go to church because the pastor judged me, said this and said that, and it's bad. But yes, people, believe me, I go to church all the time. People look at me, they judge me, they like whatever, want to get away from me. And you know what? I have to persevere and go to church. That if I promote that and I see that, people see that, and if we go and stay focused on Jesus and be about the right thing, then all that won't matter. As long as you go to church and you're doing the right thing, that over time all that will fade away. But we have to be sincere and do the right thing. We have to clean up a lot of things in the world so we don't have access to these things and be exposed to these things, because I'm not perfect, but it takes everybody in the world to make the world perfect. If everybody in the world pulls together, and basically a lot of things that we have access to over media, God will put in our hearts, and in our hearts, he'll we'll feel that it is not right, that maybe we shouldn't be doing things. And once we turn that around, then we all have helped each other, and the world will be a better place.